Hello and welcome to the Art of Morrigan. I'm so happy you are here. If you're new to the channel, thank you for checking it out. I'm just starting this journey of sharing my art process and inspirations, and every like and comment and subscription means so much to me. If you enjoy art, especially oil painting and fantasy-inspired works, I'd love to have you join me here. This painting is a portrait of Tolkien. I've been a big fan of The Lord of the Rings and really all of his works for years. He's inspired my own art and writing in so many ways. I wanted to have a portrait of him to hang above my writing desk as a reminder to never give up on writing and painting the things that are dear to my heart. Well, I didn't realize at this point just how hard this painting would be. I was feeling really optimistic, like I've painted dozens of portraits before. What could possibly go wrong, right? Yeah. In fact, this painting turned out to be a real challenge for me. So if you want to see me struggle my way through it, keep watching. First, I'm starting with a brown underpainting I did a while ago. Looking back, I probably could have skipped this step, because it didn't really give me much to work with. Normally, I'd keep the shadow areas more transparent, but the hazy light in the reference photo didn't really have a sharp contrast between the light and the shadow, so it wasn't as helpful as I'd hoped. Now, painting Tolkien's face, especially as an older person, it turned out to be way harder than I expected. All the wrinkles and details in the skin were a big challenge. As I worked, I realized I probably could have used a bit more practice with this kind of subject. I ended up repainting the wrinkled areas around his eyes several times before I was happy with it. About the background. Originally I wasn't planning on having one at all, but as I worked on the portrait I thought it would be nice to include something from Tolkien's world. So I decided on a mountain and a sweeping landscape to represent the vastness of his legendarium. Aside from the face, I have to say I'm really happy with how the fur on the coat turned out. This is actually where the red-brown underpainting really worked well. I covered it with transparent layers of ultramarine blue mixed with burnt umber, which created this beautiful semi-transparent black. After that, I introduced some grays to the lighter areas and added the rim light on the fur. By this point I was 2 days into the painting process and had finally covered the entire canvas with a layer of paint. So I decided to let it dry before moving on to the next stage. Once the painting was dry, I moved on to add more details to the background. Then it was time to tackle the face again. At this point I was feeling pretty confident and thought I could actually finish the portrait in this setting. But the wrinkled area still wasn't quite to my liking, and so many things in the portrait just didn't feel right yet. So I decided to let it dry again and come back to give it another paint over the next day. And here's where some footage got lost, because honestly I was afraid the painting was ruined and not worth filming anymore. But at some point I decided to keep filming and share the rest anyway, including my failures. Art isn't all about success, it's mostly about struggle and just keeping at it. Without this channel, this painting might have ended up in the dark corner of shame for failed works. But I kept painting and slowly reworked the eye and the complicated area around it. This time I tried to slow down and be more observant. But once I got over the fear of ruining it, I found myself just painting for the joy of it. I actually ended up really liking how the background turned out. I'm by no means a landscape painter, but enjoy adding a little bit of landscape here and there in my paintings. Then came the last challenge, the smoke from the pipe. Normally I would have waited for anything to dry again before painting it, but at this point all I wanted was to finish the project. So I started painting the smoke and immediately hated it. It looked nothing like the soft wispy trails I had imagined, gently merging with the landscape. So I wiped it out, repainted the background and tried the smoke again. It's still not my favorite part of the painting, but it turned out okay. In the end, I'm happy with how this portrait came together. It is always such a joy to see a finished painting, and in this case it's of my favorite author, someone I really admire both as a creator and as a person. His lifelong dedication to building his world is such an inspiration to me. I hope this video was helpful for you in some way, or at least that you enjoyed watching it. Thank you so much for watching. As a beginner on YouTube, I'm also learning how to make videos, edit and do voiceovers. It's still a bit overwhelming at times. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I can't wait to see you in the next video.